Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Ty from AGI Pro DJ, and today we're doing a midday live stream rather than an after hours. And I'm joined today by Tom Ferret from ADJ and with DJ Alex Nepa. Is it Nepa or Nepa? Sorry, my bad. I should have asked ahead of time.
That's all right. It's Nepa.
Nepa. Joined by Tom Ferret from ADJ and Alex Nepa, a good friend of ours and a customer out in Pennsylvania. And today we are going to take a look at the ADJ Wolf Mix WMX-1. Wolf Mix is a small format tabletop tactile DMX controller. I think Alex really kind of nailed it. It allows him to control DMX and not any of the things that he hates about DMX. And it sounds like you feel about DMX about like I feel about DMX. So it's awful. It's horrible. I want nothing to do with it. So anything that makes my life easier, setting up and controlling and using it is a win-win-win in my book. So Tom, for those of you, everybody out there who doesn't know who you are, what do you do at ADJ, Tom? You're just the sandwich guy, right? Oh, Tom's muted. Why is Tom muted?
I don't know.
There we go.
It's probably
so
my wife probably muted me. She probably has a hack on this.
Nice.
So I'm the Western Regional Sales Manager for ADJ, and I handle the Pacific Northwest with our reps up there, and also Arizona, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico. And I love DMX, but I love this controller too, because it makes everything so much easier, and it makes it easy to do professional shows, professional looks. And one of the neat things that I think Alex alluded to is you don't need to know DMX. You don't need to have anxiety about programming and how to set up a cool show. You could just get this controller, and there's great videos, and we're going to put out some great content as well. And so anybody can make their lights look like $1 million.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom.
I should say make all their ADJ lights look like $1 million.
Well, that's all anybody owns, right?
Yep.
All American DJ lights. So cool. Alex, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. You're from Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
I'm a high-end wedding and corporate DJ.
Yeah, dude, I do a little bit of everything. So I'm from Pennsylvania, State College, Pennsylvania, home of Penn State to be exact. I've been in the game for 25 plus years. I've got a multi-op DJ company, but I position myself as the high-end DJ in my market and in Pennsylvania. And in addition to, basically the weddings and the corporate side of things, I do a lot of nightlife here at Penn State. So we have bar accounts that I'm putting DJs in. I act as a talent buyer. And one of the things that I've been doing for years, just by default in the area is sound and lighting for bars and nightclubs, and trying my best to come up with an easy solution for bars and nightclubs that want the excitement of a programmed light show, but don't necessarily have somebody that is in a theatrical background or a dramatic background to run that lighting. And that is 100% the godsend that Wolf Mix has been for the past year.
Awesome. That's very cool. So you're a multi-op. How many guys you got?
So we downscaled. We basically went premium after the pandemic. Went from 17 guys to 5 guys on staff. And so we still do a large number of weddings, but they're at a higher price tag than they were before. So.
Right on. Work less and smarter.
Yes, sir.
100%. That's fantastic. So let's take a look at the Wolf Mix. I'm going to let Tom take over and do his presentation. Are you cool just hanging out, Alex, for a little bit? And then we're going to talk about how Wolf Mix changed your life and made your premium multi-op mobile DJ service better and easier.
Yeah. What I thought too is I'll just walk through kind of the features, the practical features, how to get it set up. And then we'll have Alex talk about some real world applications of some of the things that I go over. And Alex just said something really interesting too about going premium. And, I know a lot of people have followed ADJ over the years, and we used to be more of a DJ company. And now we do still have DJ lighting, but we also have a lot of big production lighting, a lot of video walls, a lot of IP products. And I have a location in Colorado Springs that actually has $4,500 IP moving head beams, $3,500 IP wash lights, a big outdoor patio, and they were and they could really afford any controller they wanted, but the designer went with the WMX-1, and it's indoors, and it's controlling about $30,000 worth of IP fixtures, and they used it just for the simplicity, where the lighting programmer could go in and set looks, and then anybody could trigger them. And then we also, in that same town, have a few lounges that are using them as well. So whether you're a mobile, whether you're an event person doing a lot of different events, whether it's a club, you know, this thing fits a lot of applications, and it makes things simple. And I think anyone who's done lighting programming in the past, you come up with your favorite looks, your favorite shows, and then you modify them based on the event that's going on. And this fits perfectly in that world. So why don't I kind of walk through the buttons and walk through some of the basic things this does. And if you guys or anybody has any questions, just feel free to interrupt me. So when you unbox the WMX-1, the first thing you need to do is activate it. Code will pop up on the screen. You go to WolfMix \activate, punch in the screen, and then you'll see a keyboard pop up, and then you punch in the code it gives you, and you're ready to go. And then the next thing you want to do, and this is truly a standalone controller, but you want to use WTools for updates. That's the companion app. And also uploading profiles. Say there's you have a certain light and the profile's not in here. You go to WTools and there's a good chance it's going to be on there. In fact, yesterday I was loading this up. We have a bunch of brand new lights. Some of them aren't even out yet, and I was surprised that they were already in the WTools library. And WTools carries ADJ, Eliminator, all our brands, but also just about every manufacturer you've ever heard of. So it's really, really, really easy to add light. So I'm going to actually kind of do a brief example. Let me straighten this guy out a little bit. So you have, it looks like a microphone. Just hit that, hit plus. We could go to ADJ, and then we would just scroll through, even discontinued lights, whatever light we want. And then once we pick the light we want, that's a good one, we just hit the add one, and it gives us the channel mode. So we can set up however many channel modes. And then in this screen, after we've added our lights, we can decide what group we want them to go on, which I'm going to talk about in the middle, but then it gives us our DMX channels. So we could go over to the lights and simply put in the DMX channels, and we are good to go. So you'll notice in the screen right here, we have, let me straighten this out a little bit, A, B, C, D, and those are the 4 different groups for the lights that you can have. And then on the back of the unit, we also have 4 outputs, 2 3-pin and 2 5-pin. So if you're using 3-pin lights or 5-pin lights, very, very easy to connect. And typically when you're setting up your groups, you might do all your moving heads on group A and all your white wash lights on group B, and then separate them that way as well. So basic overview on the screen. I'm going to walk through some of these buttons. We have our home button, which takes us here. We have color effects, which we'll show in a minute. We have move effects, which are great for your moving head. We have beam effects, which are different chase patterns. We have color, and you'll notice at the top of the screen, hopefully you can see it, the A, B, C, D, that's to activate. So if I want to change colors on my moving heads, which are on group A, I am simply going to do that. And then group B is going to be my wash lights, and I can change colors on those. And then position, gobo. So I can just touch the gobos. I can also, these pads down here correspond with my buttons up there, which make it even easier. And then live edit, which we'll talk about towards the end. Then if we move over to this section, we have BPM tap. We also have an audio input on the back, and we have a built-in mic. Alex, do you use the audio much when you're doing this, when you're using yours?
All of our installs and my own private use uses the built-in mic. Works great.
Yeah, good. That's one of the things that people really comment about this is the audio is really cool. And then you have strobe. Kind of guess what that does. Blinder. So an easy way to flash the crowd. Speed. We have blackout, which is pretty cool. And then we have smoke machine control. You can hook up your smoke machine as well and control it with one button right on here. And you can also set your intensity and your speed depending on your smoke machine. You can also set a timer on it as well. So if you want the smoke to go 10 seconds every time you hit the button, you can do that. So I'm just checking to see if there's any questions. Looks like we're good on the questions. Let me just jump over here. Okay, so why don't we start with color effects? So we're going to go to color effects. And if you look on the screen, the first thing we have our A, B, C, D. That's our group. So I'm going to hit B, which is going to be my wash lights up here. Hit the first one. And now you'll see the lights right up here in front changing colors. I control the speed. I control the phase. I control the fade rate on them. And then I can simply walk through these. That's a little Saturday Night Fever guy. And it'll change the color effects. Basically, like different chase patterns, different ways to do it. This is a back and forth. We have two lights going on, so we'll go back here. And now I can go over and grab my moving heads. And you'll see them behind me. Oh gosh, that's fast. Now we can slow it down. And they are doing chase as well. So now I have A and B activated, and I'm going to have them all do the same thing together. So how easy is that? Now all my lights are changing colors to a pattern just by hitting a button. And I control the speed on everything. I control the phase. What the phase is if I want to get them a little bit out of whack, like some behind the other, I can do that as well. So now I got my lights changing colors. That is pretty cool. I'm going to take us out of that mode. And now let's go to Move Effects. Uh-oh, something's going on. So this is, you can see my moving heads. Basically, I have moving head patterns at the top here. I can slow them way down. Side to side, back and forth. Genie coming out of a bottle. Kind of a matrix. So extremely powerful. So now I've created a bunch of dynamic movements. Color chase. Beam effects is where you can actually have them chase through. Let's speed these up. Where it actually is going to turn them on and off. So now you can see them just like the old chases where lights would turn on and off, like the old signs and things like that. And I can select between different patterns that way. Kind of a heartbeat one, which is kind of cool. So again, Alex, if I had a DMX controller here with faders, how long would it take me to do all the stuff I've just been doing?
So, I mean, it would take you a long. So, I mean, one of my first things that I really fell in love with the Wolf Mix was actually for movers and the movement for them. If you, I started off with faders, actual hardware and everything like that. Moved from that to Martin Light Jockey in mid to late 2000s, and every single movement for your moving heads had to be programmed piece by piece by piece by moving heads. So, I mean, if you've got an install or if you've got a mobile rig set up, I mean, just the movement alone makes it so much easier. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, I can remember setting up light shows for nightclubs and bars in town and just saying, okay, I'm going to go in from 2 o'clock when you close till 8 o'clock in the morning until I just get too tired to keep on going. And it might take me an entire week to set you up a light show. So, yeah, that's not the case with this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to do that as well. And you'd be trying to hit something on the floor or trying to hit the mirror ball just right. And depending on how the ratio was on the mover, like sometimes you move the fader a little, sometimes you have to move it a lot. You might sit there 10 minutes trying to hit a spot on the floor or trying to light up a sign or light up a wedding table or a corporate logo or whatever. So I'm actually going to jump ahead a little bit. So this has pre-positioned movements. As you can see on here, actually I'm going to jump back. We have floor, center point, ceiling, some predetermined ones, which is pretty cool. Got it going down right at me right now. And then I can also go to user presets. So what's really neat on this, there's my preset for what we're doing today, is here is kind of the beauty right here. So I'm going to pull my hand away. This is my moving heads, and I can invert them as well when I'm assigning them. Right now, they're doing the same thing, but if I want them to crisscross, I can do that. So I can do pan and tilt with knobs, or I can use my finger. I can control my focus on here. I can stagger them a little bit. So if I want one to go a little bit later than the other, So again, this is gold. Instead of using faders, I can use knobs, but I can also just move my finger. So if there was a mirror ball in here, I could just move my finger until they hit the mirror ball. And then once I have that look, you'll notice this button's flashing. I just save it. So this is my look for the webinar we're doing. And then now it's going to go to the look I just did. It's just that easy. I love this thing. So I can recall those positions at any time. And then, do you have anything to add on that, Alex?
No, there are some really, really good questions though, if in the comments that I could tackle, or you if you want.
Yeah,
to tackle.
why don't you?
Yeah.
Argus.
Which one do you want to do first?
So Argus Entertainment asks about the basically pixel mappable tubes like the Astero tubes, Chauvet tubes. I actually have 3 different types of tubes that I have used with the Wolf Mix. I have Astero tubes, the AX1s. I have the Chauvet. I forget the model number, but they're pretty cool, and they're almost copycats of the Astero AX1s. And I also have straight from China V-Show tubes that we have kind of programmed into a chandelier at one of our clubs installs. And it controls all of them great. Yeah, it's super easy. I actually built the profile for the chandelier myself. The tubes, and those are, I think, 84 channels. And it'll. I mean, it's not going to do exact pixel mapping, but it's going to get the gist of all their presets and everything like that really nicely.
So are you using the color effects when you play that back? You're mapping them and then using the built-in color effects?
Yeah. So and I can go deeper into that too. So if I'm using it myself, I will actually choose the color effects, the beam effects, the move effects, and kind of create a live show on the go. One of the really beautiful pieces of the Wolf Mix for installs, though, are the presets and the preset pages. Yes. So a lot of times for an install, if I'm going to do a presets, I'm going to make like 3 pages of presets. I'm going to do early night presets, which are kind of simple washes and fades. And I mean, I forget how many presets are on each page, maybe 16 or 12.
There is actually, 20.
20. Okay. So even better.
And you have 5 pages, so you have 100 presets.
Yep. So what I'll do is I usually just do 3 pages for the installs just to kind of keep it simple, keep it simple, stupid for people that aren't necessarily experts and just want to be button pushers. But so I'll do an early night preset page. I will do a kind of build up preset page, and that can be used kind of the building of the dance floor and also kind of the fading of the dance floor as well. And I'll do like a crazy peak hour preset page. And not only can you like flip to the pages and choose what you want to, but if you kind of just want it to be plug and play, or maybe even a competitor like a Show Express, you can actually play, or pardon me, not Show Express, Sound Switch. You can actually let those presets play and determine the amount of time each preset has to play. So you could play that entire page and it'll flip the lights every 20 seconds, every 30 seconds, every 5 seconds. And I mean, it's just, kind of keeps it fresh and keeps it moving.
You
can automate those presets.
Yeah. And you actually jumped ahead, which is awesome.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I didn't mean to.
Oh, that's okay. No, it's interesting because when we first looked at this, we kind of saw it and we didn't get our hands on it yet and hadn't had training on it. I was like, wow, is it a light performance piece? Like someone's going to sit here. And I think a lot of people still have that perception of this, that I'm going to sit here during a show and be like doing things on the fly and all that. But the light bulbs really went off for a lot of people, including me, when you saw presets and you saw you could do 100 of them. So literally, just like you said, you're using it in real life, I could have static looks on the first page that when I plug in, I'm just setting up the looks in the room. And then the second page maybe is a little more action. And the third page is even a little kind of building on more action through the different pages. And I can also go into live edit and modify things on the fly as well. And then one of the neatest things, and I don't know, Alex, if this is how you do it, but you can record in real-time sequences. So if I have a bunch of presets on here, I can actually go and say I want it to go between 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then 5 for 10 seconds and bounce around in real time and have it play that back.
Oh, that's actually something I did not know. So
cool. We just had training about 2 weeks ago, and I was like, yes. Like one of the neat things about this is the more you learn about it, whether it's visualizers or adding universes or linking 2 together, it just keeps getting deeper and deeper. It actually reminds me of a quote. I'm going to date myself. So 1 million years ago, Roland had a drum machine that was really good. And our rep used to come in and train us on it back when I worked in retail. And he would leave, and then we'd all sit there and we'd try to recreate what the rep did. And we'd be, no, and we couldn't figure it out. He made it so easy. And we would call him, and customers would buy it, and they would call us with the same thing. And they would say, in this case, you just spent $649 on a light controller. If you could figure it out in 10 minutes, wouldn't you feel a little bit let down? So that's just levels and levels and levels and levels of stuff you can do on here. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and shout out to Karis, the New York Giant. He was actually a DJ at my club this weekend. He crushed it, but yeah, he watched me kind of do the light show for him while he was playing, so it was cool.
Awesome. Okay, so any other questions on the comments?
The one was they were restricting the size of the movements, and I could speak to that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of times, if you set up at a bar, the bartenders are like, "Hey, let's get these lights out of my face." Like the movers are wailing me every time I try to make a drink, and yeah, that's actually a pretty easy fix just with the size button on the move effects.
Yeah, and you might also too, you can do it on the size button. You can also set up the dance floor in here. Also, if you have lights on totem and you want everything going one direction, you can do that. I know that's a popular effect right now, but it's very easy to do on this unit. So any other questions, or should I keep going?
DJ Avenue would ask, can you custom name look and scenes?
Yes. Yeah, you can.
Yes.
Yeah, you can custom do presets. And when I get to the end of this, I'll actually load in a sample project that's in here where they have it laid out really nicely. And they actually have real nice names for all the different looks and everything, which is really cool. So, and the other thing too is you have a sample set up in here that's really nice. So if you want to see how the people at the factory would do things, you can do that. And it also works with the visualizer. Also, the visualizer is a $99 upgrade, but it works really nicely with that too. So if you get the visualizer and you're not sure how to work it, you can go into the sample project and kind of see how they did that. And then it'll allow you to go from there. So, and then one other thing I want to cover too, this is one universe out of the box. And you can expand it up to 4 universes, and each additional universe is $99. I know that question's going to come up. And the visualizer is $99.
Is that a $99 lifetime, Tom?
Yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's really easy to do. You basically go into your WTools app, and it has all that stuff listed out, and you just check the box to unlock it, and then pay for it, and then it's unlocked in your controller and add it.
But default, you get a full universe, correct?
Yeah, you get a full universe, and that works on all 4 of the outputs. And then when you activate, say I have 4 universes in here, I can determine what light goes to what universe on what output, which makes it really easy.
Cool.
Okay, any questions? Alex mentioned something about being in a bar, and I didn't plan on doing this. I don't know if you use this, Alex, but on the bottom, you'll notice these 4 screws here. It's probably, oh, there we go, a little better to see. And those, and I forget the name of them. Yes, and so you can actually permanently mount it for an installation, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that
either. Does it have a Kensington lock also?
I don't believe so.
No, just the VESA mount?
Yeah, yeah, but that's really helpful for installations.
Yeah.
Or say on your DJ rig or your table or whatever, maybe you want to have a little mount for it to put it up above your controller or up above your soundboard. You can do that as well.
Cool.
Okay, we ready to
there was a question. Oh. No, there was a question. Can you do prisms on moving heads like the 4Z?
Yes.
I would assume so.
Yep, you can do prism, and you can also do zoom as well.
And that's all loaded in with the default profile, right?
Yeah, and you can use the knobs to go through and control that. So I haven't done it a bit, so I'm not going to do it right now.
No problem.
And I might mess it up, but you can do it.
And you can,
you can also
you
can do zoom on the fly as well using the live edit. So if you have something going on and you want to change it, you can, which is pretty cool.
Cool. Adding fog and cold sparks. So there is a smoke button.
Yeah.
Could you program that to set off a cold spark?
I believe so, as long as it's DMX. I'm not familiar with how those work, but as long as it's DMX, it should be no problem.
Just set the control channel.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
We use the smoke for CO2 in the club, and that works fine. So,
nice. Great.
I would assume if it's just like a one or two channel fixture, it's just adding that and mapping it.
Right on. Very cool.
All right, cool. Well, why don't I jump forward a little bit? We went through this side of the board, except for the presets, which we've talked a lot about. So why don't I set up a preset? We are going to go color effect. So lights are changing colors now. Do a little move effect. We got the moving heads going. Hopefully, oh, we can see it a little bit on TV. Now say that we love that look, like the dance floor is packed or the event space is packed, and it's all because of this look you just did on your WMX, and we want to save this. So we're going to go to presets, and then we are going to, oops, actually we're going to go to shift, preset, shift. There we go. There we go. I think I missed a step, but that's how you save. Now we have the presets. We have 4 different presets that we can recall. So it's just that
pretty easy to set on the fly.
Yeah, I think I'm missing a step though. I hate to admit it, but it's a little funky. The button should have lit up. So I don't know. Alex, did I miss a step?
Yeah, so if you go to the preset page and stay
Yes.
out, like let's say you want to save something, just hit shift and then like hold shift and then hit the tab.
Oh, there we go.
And that's where you can name them as well.
Okay, so we're going to go back and do this again. There we go. Actually, we'll just do it this way. Presets. And then I could name it as well right here. Hopefully you can see it on the screen.
Yep.
I'll do this as the AGI. And then tap it and it's saved. So there we go.
That's a great seg into to DJ Ray G on Twitch's next question.
Yes.
Can you do the Hollywood effect on the movers and save as a preset? So I assume Hollywood effect, you're talking about the focus delay on each. That would be easy, correct?
Yeah.
Alex, Tom?
Yeah, I'm learning something new because I have no idea what a Hollywood effect is. I might know it to see it.
I would assume it's like where you have them delayed.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Oh, okay.
That's the phase.
That's my guess.
Yeah, that's the phase on the moving heads. So phase is going to delay them a little bit. It's like a swing effect in music where they're kind of following each other.
Okay.
Yeah, for most of the club installs I do, I will put all the movers as one fixture group, or all the movers of one type or model type as one fixture group, which is what you see on the front page on the home page there. Now, like at weddings, a lot of times what I will do is I'll have like 2 movers on each side of me, and I will actually add those as separate groups, so I could do different things with the right movers than I can with the left movers, and I think that will give you the I think that's going to be the optimal way to achieve that effect if that's what you want to do.
Cool. On YouTube, DJ Lumi says, hello, can you make a preset with my custom positions, 10 units of moving head beams without use the move effects?
Yeah, absolutely. You would go into the position. Yeah. I'll actually do it right now. Let's see, position. We'll go to, so we're going to go over here. We're going to go to here. Yeah, and so I can just grab them, position them wherever I want. I can even do the focus. Well, I almost hit Jose there. Let's bring it behind me so that we can see it on camera. Oh, that's a scary position. It's Halloween. But yeah, you could totally set a position just by using the pan and tilt, by using your finger, and then save that as a preset if you wanted to.
Yep. So a lot of times if I'm at a wedding and I've got super low ceilings, or on the flip side, if I'm feeling a little bit lazy and don't feel like bringing in trussing, I will set the movers on the floor and use that position to kind of just focus them on the ceiling. And you could also do that as a cool visual effect using different gobos and stuff. Yeah, Paz has a good question in terms of, finding tutorials on how this works. Like, it's so easy that, like, I mean, I think WolfMix has like tons and tons and tons of demos and videos on their site. Do. But it's just so easy that like I kind of don't even need tutorials. It's that stupid easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is just buy one and do it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, and the tutorials are really good.
They are easy.
one thing I appreciate them is I don't think there's any over 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So if people, you're already getting this to save time, so that you don't have to learn programs and learn boxes and do all this other stuff and try to get things to work. So the videos kind of relate to that. They're really quick and easy, like how to attach, how to assign your light, how the color effects works and all that. So you can go through all the videos and learn a lot. And there's also YouTube videos that end users have put out there that are pretty cool. And then also this is probably a perfect segue. We are doing a Take Control tour. Hold up a little flyer. All across the country. So if you want to get your hands on one of these units and play with it with factory reps, go to our website and you'll see different locations for the next couple months all around the country. I'm having a Take Control soda right now. But we're doing events. It's diet, yeah. Because if everybody was here with us, then it wouldn't be diet. It would be full flavor. But we're streaming, so we're a little diet. But we're all over the country. You can check our website, various locations, hands-on with this, and then also the Link controller, which is pretty cool. And we'll have a bunch of lights. And we might be doing one in Alex's area. And if we are, it would be great for Alex to come out and say hi. And our people will be out there with food and drinks and everything else. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
So
nice.
And AGI is a huge supporter of ADJ and this product as well, so they can answer your questions and help you with all your needs as well.
Absolutely. You can reach us by phone, by chat, by email, by text. I mean, we're easy to get a hold of. So great question, DJ 3PM. Undersold feature is that you can send the one free universe to all 4 DMX outputs, making it a splitter.
Mm-hmm.
That is
such a great feature.
Yes. You can also, if your lights are 3-pin or 5-pin and you don't have the right cable, you can use it in that regard, splitter in that way as well.
Yeah, the outputs have 2 3-pins and 2 5-pins.
Oh, very cool. Thanks, Andrew. That was a great tip for sure. Let's see here. If you guys got questions, please put them in the chat and we'll pop them up on the screen. We'll get Tom and Alex to answer questions in between stop spots. But
Justin's question is pretty good here. I actually do not use a gig bar or VersaFlex, so perhaps somebody that uses it might know this. But I would assume like if those. So I mean, I don't know it probably depends what the profile looks like for that, right? Like if it's how many channels it takes up, if it allows the splitting of it on the profile, because I mean, the only limits the WolfMix would have there is what the profile is written as.
Yeah,
right?
that is an interesting question. A lot of times this works better with wash lights, moving heads. You can do the zoom, the prism, color change, pan, tilt, a bunch of cool things on the effects type lighting. Some of the special features might not work on here. It just depends on the light. And then also what I found, and I'm still learning this, just like, discovering new things about this, but every once in a while I'll find a fixture that I actually break into 2 fixtures when it comes to this, where I'll assign it twice and use one group of features. In fact, sometimes if you have a light that has a ton of DMX channels, you'll find that, yeah, it works better if you break it into 2 segments and control it separately that way. And I think some of the effects lights, you do that. One of the interesting things is, Alex, did you build profiles in the W tools, in the profile builder, or did you do it on the unit?
I have done both, and I find it way easier just to do it on the unit.
Yeah.
There are some additional like frost effects and things like that if you build it on W tools.
Right.
But yeah, it's super easy just to do it on the unit. And Patrick Butler asked a good question if you want to pop that one up, because I've used this and done this. So there's like 3 or 4 different answers. Number one, you could have, I don't know if there's any limit on projects, is there?
I don't think so. I'm going to go here. You have, I'm moving kind of fast, but if you go to the settings, and then here's my settings menu, and I hit projects and I'll go open. We are going to save what we just did, but here's a list of them, and you can just go on and on.
Okay. And
add projects.
Yep. So on the flip side too, like sometimes I will my standard light show for weddings is two wash movers and the 6-pack of Chauvet tubes. And for that, like, let's say I just want to bring out the tubes, like, or, I've got a lower end wedding where I want to bring out like a wash effects or just a simple wash light or something like that. You can build your presets using everything, and it's only going to work what you have plugged in. So, but if you have multiple light shows using different types of lights, yeah, you could use the projects feature for that.
Yeah, that's a great point. You could have four groups of lights, but say you're only using 2 at that show.
Yep.
You just turn on those 2 as needed. The other thing too, and I haven't mentioned this, is you have a lockout feature as well. So Alex mentioned about installs and different things, and I mentioned about some installs, but you can actually password protect this as well.
Yes.
So if you don't, and if you're sending out mobile entertainers, or you've done a lot of work for a band and you don't want them messing it up, or it's an event hall or even a hotel or nightclub, you can go in and lock it out as well. So people would have to use a password to go in and modify anything.
Found that out the hard way. I had somebody completely delete a whole show, a whole project, and was getting the text messages, hey, the lights are just blinking randomly. I'm like, oh, well, they're not on DMX.
Well, if there's a way to do it, people will figure it out.
Yes.
So this is a way to lock it out. The other thing too that we don't really speak about with this is $649 is the street price, and the value. Like if I'm using software and I need a laptop and I need software and I need a dongle and all that, it's not long before I'm at $649. Or if I need a tablet and the accompanying program and all that, it's not long before I'm at around $649. Whereas this, you're all ready to go. And not only is it a good value as far as what you get, but your time savings as well. What's your time worth? And one of the biggest things, not only setting up shows, but learning things, like if it's software or whatever. And those all have their place, but there's a certain, and we've all been through it, there's a certain learning curve. Whereas like Alex said earlier, you can walk up to this and 10 minutes later, your light show looks great. It looks like someone programmed your lights, and it's really cool, and it's very easy to do. So.
Yeah, I found it.
Nice thing is it's a dedicated piece of hardware. Also, it's not like you're having to use a tablet or your phone. And a lot of people don't have 2 phones or another separate laptop. So it's a dedicated piece of hardware that was designed to control a light show rather than an app.
Yeah, well, exactly. And it's funny. I was talking to one of the salespeople, Edgar, earlier today, and we were talking about ease of use, and we were talking about issues, and we both commented that we never get calls on this. As many people who own this in the United States right now, it is shocking how few calls. I don't speak for our service department, but if there was an issue, they'd bring it up to us. But usually dealers are calling us, saying, hey, I got a customer and here's what's going on. And we're usually hopefully doing a good job of working them through it. But the amount of calls we get in this is, we both looked at each other and said, I can't remember the last time I've had someone call me with an issue. So
I don't know whether it's an official or unofficial Facebook group, but the level of support I've received on that for the few issues I've had is quite amazing. Most of the time, like somebody will build a fixture profile for you. So whoever's doing that, thank you.
Right on. Very cool.
I see Kevin here now.
I had a question for Alex. You talked about the chandelier build that you did. Yep. I'm curious, how many universes are you using in that venue?
Do you want to know? Just one.
Just one universe. So then, and how many lights is it controlling? Because when you start thinking about pixels, some of those are 92 channels per stick.
Yep. So we use 84 channels on that, and I just have basically the lower rung and top rung as its own channel. So the lower rung can chase with the top rung. So it's not individually mapped per fixture, if you follow.
Got it.
And then we've got 12 wash movers there and 4 17Rs at that install. So it all fits within one. I thought about doing 2 channels or 2 universes, but again, laziness. I didn't feel like running the cable for a second universe.
Okay, so then
if you don't need to, don't do it.
No, yeah,
right. And unless your event calls for like a runway strobe or something like that, where you have to do individual fixtures and have it chased that way.
Yep.
Cool. All right. I was just curious. I was sort of like floating around the back of my head.
Yeah, so we have floor channels. So all of our wiring is run from floor channels to a back closet and then up through the ceiling. So I just, I hate sneaking cables through floor channels. So I one was enough for me.
Fair. Pat Butler actually stole my question, so we're on the same wavelength. Is there a way to back up the programs? Alex had said that somebody turboed one of your programs or presets. Can you do it to the
so W Tools will back up your Yep, and you could load right through WTools. But in this instance, it's just like, again, like just to speak about how easy this program is, it was just as easy for me to go in there and redo the settings and come up with some fresh lighting patterns for the install as well. So.
Yep, that actually brings up something else too. When I mentioned I was doing this, someone asked me a question before this, one of my dealers called, about loading programs into here. So you can say that Alex has 4 of these that he's sending out with 4 different people. He can program one and then go on his WTools and load up programs on other ones without having to manually do it if he wants to. So if he wants to update them, maybe he's got a bunch of new lights, bunch of new ADJ fixtures that he's added to his assortment, he can go in there and update all his presets and download that on all his controllers. And again, just keeping with the theme of very easy to work and very powerful. So one thing too, I want to back up just a second. I asked Alex a little bit ago about building profiles, whether he did it in the software, he did it on here. And Alex mentioned he does it on here. And I've done a couple on here. And one of the things that's really neat is a light might be 13 channels or 16 channels or 12 channels, but when you go in to build the profile, how many channels are you actually using, Alex? Probably 6, 7, maybe 8, because you're not using special features. There's a bunch of stuff typically on a light that you end up not using with this program.
Yeah,
So
I think the movers are like 22 channels. The pixel tubes are 84 channels. So yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really easy. You just go in, like there's a lot of, when you're building a profile, a lot of stuff you end up not using. So you just assign, it's color change, it's pan, tilt, gobo, zoom, and all that. And it's super, super easy to do on here.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, DJ Nero's on Facebook Live said, is there a way to the haze smoke machine on a timer?
You can set the timer on here. You can, and that's a great question. When you go smoke, you can see intensity and fan. So like on our hazers, like our entourage and all that. And then you have toggle on here. And then I turned it and now you can see a timer, 1 second, 5 seconds, and 10 seconds. So I can set it up. And typically on a hazer, you just have it run the whole time, but maybe it's something like a Jet Pro, a Fog Fury Jet or a Fog Fury Jet Pro. And I just want it to go for 5 seconds. So every time I hit smoke, it just blasts for 5 seconds and I'm good to go. Or maybe even shorter if it's like CO2 or something where you want to set a duration on it. Or I can just have it flash where whenever I do that, it does it. Or let me go back to that, or toggle, maybe I can't. And toggle is where it's on until I hit it again and then it's off. So yeah, again,
so it's got a latch
flexible
mode also.
Yeah, it's got a flash and it's got a latch, as we used to say.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So
everybody, if you're watching, if you got questions, pop them in the chat. You've got the experts right here to answer your questions. I honestly, I've learned more about this in the last 43 minutes than I've learned just since we've actually had them in stock to sell. So this is fantastic.
Yeah, and we talked about like laptops and installs too. That's always been a pain point. At best, we've had an AV closet at bars and nightclubs where we're able to kind of put laptops with DMX inside of that closet, but then of course they're not accessible by the DJ or dedicated light jock. On the flip side, sometimes the light jock's station is right next to the DJ in the DJ booth, which is great because they can see the flow of the night and everything like that. But then you've got a laptop with college kids drinking cheap, sugary rum and cokes. And I guarantee you're buying a new laptop every semester or every year, which has been the case for me. So yeah, this is even if I get a spill on this, which I haven't yet at any of my places, I would be much happier shelling out $650 or $600, whatever the price is, for a replacement of one of these that is backed up than I would be for even the cheapest laptop.
Alex, do you know what the ADJ button does on here? We've always wanted a product with an ADJ button, and now we have
So the best I could describe is it's kind of like your oh shit, like crazy things are going down. So pardon me if I don't know if
it brings the party.
Yes.
Button brings the party.
Yeah, it really does. So like it does like a mixture of a strobe chase. Yeah, I mean if I'm like playing a song with a big drop or like a good chorus sing along, I'll hit that ADJ button. I'll switch back and forth between the blinder and the ADJ button. It'll get the job done.
So what I'm hearing you say is
a batshit crazy mode.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Nice.
So what I'm hearing you say is when you press ADJ, it brings the party.
Yeah, for sure.
It sounds like it was by design, Tom.
Yeah, I think so. And it, like Alex said, so if it basically knows all your lights and you hit the ADJ button and everything just goes. And
Yeah,
it just
give
goes
us one
crazy.
of those just for the heck of it. Yeah, so it's got like a chase kind of strobe effect there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I think I'm on move effects here.
There
we go.
Does it have any kind of definable parameters, or is it just,
no,
it just ingests what you have and it does what it's going to do?
It just goes crazy.
Yep. Every single other one of those ones, like the strobe or the speed, that's got definable parameters, but the ADJ just does its thing. It's cool.
Just goes crazy. Yeah.
Pat Butler on Facebook Live said, "Can you show us the dimmer effects?"
Yeah, that's super easy. Let's see here.
And thanks to Jose
Your
for doing
overhead camera move, Tom.
Yeah, I want to probably move that up a little bit so you could. There you go.
There we go. Yeah.
So your dimmer is actually going to be on the home button. Yep. There we
go. So right at the bottom here, my big fat hand is in the way, but yeah. Actually, I'll do it where you can see it a little bit better. We're going to do it on the wash lights right in front. So you should be able to see those coming down. And I can save all that too. So if I want looks that have, let me bring them all the way down, bring them back up. And then I was doing my moving heads, which you can't really see too well. Let me go to.
So if you had like a really bright dots par on your dance floor as a wash and it was too bright, you could go in on a preset color and back it down so it's not, blinding to your guests.
Yep.
Yes.
Also mobile DJ hack here too. If you've got a light with the battery and you want it to last a little bit longer.
That is a good one. The other thing too is we have like our new Jolt panel and Jolt bar effects and all that are crazy blinders and super, super bright. But you can also use them as eye candy. And there's times that you want to turn them down and just have them be in the background during dinner or whatever. And then and you can save, the dimmer setting, you could save in a preset as well. So you might have presets with your lights at 50% or certain lights dim down. And then as the night goes on, the intensity, you go to other presets where the intensity goes way up. So.
Love my ADJ WMX-1. Non-DMX wife loves it, wants to learn more. Using with 18 Rockville wedges and strips, Force Freedom sticks, On Tour Chill, and Pro X sparkers. So there you go, man. It's a full show.
Nice.
For sure.
Nice.
I mean, Tom would say not enough ADJ in there, but, we won't judge.
Yes, we should always have more ADJ. Right. So any other questions?
Yeah, great stuff, for sure. Thanks for sharing
awesome.
That. Yeah. Anybody else? Questions?
You did get a shout out from your boss.
Oh, yeah. You did get a shout out. Alfred says, "Great job, Tom and Alex. Huge thank you to AGI for inviting us to your Facebook Live." You are welcome. Thanks for sharing Tom with us, Alfred.
Well, and too, we have the Take Control tour all over the country too, which is going to be great. And do you have anything for people who watch this today? Any specials, any things you want to offer them since they're
so we are running up to 15% off all ADJ products using the coupon code ADJ15. That'll run through midnight on Halloween. If things are looking good and popping, we might extend it out a little bit further, but yeah, for sure. Anybody watching the stream, that's the coupon code scrolling on the bottom there. And Kevin desperately wants to talk.
I'm just saying we have a bunch of really good fixtures. We've also obviously we have WMX-1s in stock. We've got a bunch of focus spots in both pearl and in black, which are probably the focus spot 4, probably our best selling mover this year.
That's great.
And
the other thing, I'm sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I'm curious. I wish you would have installed a frost effects into this, just because I know that it isn't ideal for the fixture or for the control for DMX, but I would be curious to see what it looks like, that type of fixture.
You know what? Originally, it was a little funky, and I haven't done it, but they've put that profile under Eliminator lighting, and I've heard it's a lot better now that there's been a real profile put in here for it that I heard is pretty awesome.
Nice.
So cool. The other thing too is ADJ, our inventory right now is very, very good. So if there are things you need, if AGI doesn't have it in stock, chances are we have it in stock and we can ship it directly to your door. So I know it's been rough for a lot of people the last couple of years. Thankfully, the management here has kept our warehouse and our inventory in very good shape. So if there is anything you need, Halloween's just a few days from now, we can actually get it. It's Tuesday. We can still ship stuff out and have it be there in time for Halloween. We can Christmas parties, New Year's stuff. I don't know what's going on with mirror balls. We have them in stock, but Alex, are you using more mirror balls in the last year and a half than you have in a while?
You might not like this answer. If I had a mirror ball, I would take a hammer to it. I'm sorry, man.
Well, I think I don't know. A lot of people, mirror balls are really popular these days. So
although I will say, for one install, I pitched actually doing mirror balls at the landing of the entry at different staggering sizes and heights, but not a lighting effect, just that kind of a visual effect. But not a giant fan as far as lighting goes. My apologies.
Not a fan.
Yeah, mirror balls have done really well, and clubs are doing like 20 or 40, like doing clusters of mirror balls. And
that's kind of what I had talked about. Like, doing like a cluster as like a visual kind of wow effect. Yeah.
Tom, I have a question.
Yes.
With I totally blanked my question. My phone is blinking, and I totally blanked my question. It'll come back to me. Keep talking. It'll come back to me. It's my age.
Oh man, I like these. This is actually, I apologize. This is my first time checking out these Focus Spot 4Zs, and I'm probably going to be hitting you up about buying 4 of them.
This is the 2 actually. This is the little brother, and these do great as well.
Yeah, I want the big boys, but I like.
Yeah, the 4s
I like them a lot.
Amazing as well.
Oh, I remember my question now.
Yes.
So, you have a lot of Wi-Fi type fixtures. Can you connect a Wi-Fi transmitter so someone's got a bunch of element pars or something in a
absolutely
setting?
Yeah,
can you connect a transmitter?
Yeah, our Wi-Fi transceivers just run in line, so you just go right out of here and right into a transceiver, and then that will have a 3 and a 5 pin DMX out. So if you want to keep the line going to wired lights, you can do that, or you can just use the transceiver to go out to your elements. And a lot of our new IP movers have Wi-Fi built in as well. So yes, you can.
Or if you're somebody like Alex that doesn't want to run traces of DMX, you could do a transceiver on the WMX-1 and then a transceiver at the beginning of your chain up in the ceiling, and then eliminate that home run.
Yeah, I just recently helped someone on an install like that where they had truss on both sides of the dance floor, and they did transceivers at each end, and then ran the wire through the truss to the fixtures, and then they put a transceiver on the output of their WMX. So, and it worked great. I followed up with them, and they loved it. It worked really good.
Nice.
Yeah, awesome.
So we're going to do last call for questions. Going once, going twice. All right. So
Alex, did I see that you do a podcast?
Yeah, I do have a podcast called Sips and Dish. It's labeled as a podcast for DJs, and I give out advice based on my successes and failures in life and business.
Awesome. I'll have to check it out.
And where can you see or listen to that podcast?
So you could follow the link at djalexnepa.com, but it's anywhere podcasts are available.
Nice. Let me post that link.
Looks like Roughneck put some of the Twitch emotes in the channel. We had new ones that didn't get okayed in time, so that was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, this is my first time on Twitch, so I broke my cherry here.
No. I'm glad you were here with us. There we go.
Yeah.
So djalexnepa.com. You can see that on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And you can check out everything about Alex's business, the cool things that he's doing for weddings and corporate and club stuff. The podcast, make sure you check that out. Anything else? I don't see any other questions. So, somebody had this once before, sent it back because I was getting frustrated not being able to do prisms and have the 4Z do changing gobos.
So I would
probably just a profile.
Yep, that's every problem I've ever had has been a profile, either a poorly written profile by yours truly, or a poorly just maybe a generic Chinese light that has a poorly written manual.
We've come across that as well. When we're out doing our trainings and our different things, we've come across that on some of our own fixtures. And if you do come across that, just reach out to our service department right away and let us know, and we'll get it taken care of. And we'll also, not only for you, but we'll get it taken care of for everybody as well, and make sure that the latest profiles are available online.
Yeah,
we've run across that as well. So it is a newer product, and sometimes that happens. And I'll give you an example where maybe you hit the blue on here and the red goes on the light or whatever, and those are real easy for us to fix. So if you find that, please just shoot our email to our service department or give them a call and put it on the radar, and we'll get it taken care of immediately.
Yeah,
Tom,
and I'm sorry, real quick. There is like a Facebook group too, like a private Facebook group for users of the Wolf Mix, and I've literally had Axel Ludecki from Wolf Mix company write me profiles. He's in like 2 hours, so he will like literally write you. I mean, maybe not every single time, maybe not that fast, but they are really quick, and people will help you with the profiles that you need. Sorry to interrupt there.
That's fantastic.
Okay.
No,
so,
that's
Tom, fantastic. So behind you, you've got this gobo running, right? So can you apply a prism so we can at least verify that it actually does? I believe you can do it.
You know what? I haven't done this in forever, so let me.
Well, it's easy enough to navigate. You should be able to get there with no problems at all.
Yeah, I think it's under position from memory.
Yeah, I haven't done the prisms in quite a while. So
sorry to put you on the spot, but I think this is an important question to answer.
Yeah, it is. Focus, tilt.
Thanks to Jose for fixing the overhead, so we just didn't have to look at the top of Tom's head.
No, I've got focus.
Can I get ones in the chat for anybody that remembers the Crossfader show?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I just have focus. I don't have prism. I know there's a way to do it, and I'm sorry, I just haven't done it in a bit. But we will put it on the, I'll send it to AGI and they can put it in a follow-up on this.
Gotcha.
Spot 2. Yeah, no, I'll just go back. I don't want to get too deep.
That's okay.
Okay.
So it looks like Ty dropped off this the stream in this other studio. He's trying to come back in right now. Let me see if I can get him added here. There we go.
That was crazy. The internet is not cooperative today.
We're running a lot of bandwidth right now. We're connected to the satellite and to the moon and all kinds of stuff, bouncing signals.
Nice.
All right. Well, I think you can wrap. The coupon code, again, running at least through midnight on Halloween. If you want to pick up a Wolf Mix, those are in stock. If you want focus spots, if you want to give us a call, 866-776-6499. All the guys are here ready to give you deals on your ADJ products this week. And through Halloween.
Awesome. Alex, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join our chat. And
yeah, thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure. Hopefully I can we can make some people's lives easier with this thing. It really is that cool.
I'm right there with you. DMX is not my friend. So I'm all over something like this for sure. And Tom, thank you so much for joining us and putting this together. Thanks to Jose for helping out and getting everything all set up. Make sure you buy him a good lunch.
Yes. And thanks, Alex. And thanks, Ty and Kevin, for putting this together. This is awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. We're going to sign out here. Again, if you looking to pick up anything from American DJ, up to 15% off through midnight on Halloween. Alex had mentioned that there was a private Facebook group. We're going to get a link from you for that, and then we'll put that down in all the chat comments on the stream as well, because I think that's if you're a WMX user, you should certainly have access to that or be in there for sure. So cool. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate you hanging out on Twitch, on Facebook Live, and on YouTube. I'm Ty from agiprodj. On behalf of the rest of the team, Tom at ADJ, and Alex, thanks again for watching. We'll catch you next time.
Cheers.